So we were just talking about Maverick City, and we were saying how the fact that like every song is 10 minutes, and that it feels like they force spontaneous worship every time gets jarring after a while. Do
I
you
love
agree?
how he gets up.
I'm listening.
Do you agree?
About what?
Like that, like every song, like every song goes into a spontaneous worship, and it's good for sometimes, but sometimes it can be also like kind of jarring because like sometimes, bro, I just want to listen to like a 5 minute song and it'd be like, oh here we go, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm like, oh here we go.
Oh yeah.
Like another 10 minute song. You know what I mean, I don't know. It's kind of jarring to me. Still love them though. Still love Map City, but
Yeah.
I think sometimes they I don't think they do it like purposely. I think they actually do it like out of the Holy Spirit.
yeah.
Just filling the room.
Yeah.
Could the Holy, but
Ah.
like if it's every song though,
Yeah.
like that got to be rehearsed. Not like rehearsed that they're doing it, but they're probably like, yo, like we're probably gonna do
Well,
an extra 15 minutes.
I get why they do it, but like sometimes you just gotta just let you just gotta let it. You know, like if God isn't moving, just and he is moving, but like you just don't gotta force it. You just gotta just. I love instrumentals, man. That's what I love. I
Me
miss
too.
listening to music that just had instrumentals
Okay,
because
that
that
reason is
gets you more
terrible because
engaged.
you can't use your preferences to try to say that, bro. See, like
What?
the reason why I'm saying that is because like I'm a worship leader, so like I know when things can feel like not very authentic. I'm like, all right, like let's just end this song. You know what I mean? Like it's not. You know what I mean, just end it. I mean,
But
I feel
that's the
like, but
thing.
it's
But
also the
that
crowd. You know what I mean? The crowd there is probably feeling it every song.
that's what I was gonna say because like are they making music or are they like like on in a worship? Because if you're making music, I think it's important. Even in
Yeah.
the worship setting, it's important to just have that moment of intimacy, that instrumental moment. Like
But
I don't know,
honestly,
like
bro,
I
we're not getting every second. You know, like they might be cutting those. They're probably cutting a lot of those parts. You know,
maybe, but
now that I think,
that's what I like. Like even in church, like that's what I like. I like it when it's just instrumental because that's your space to like sort of like, you know, pray and talk to God. You don't always need somebody to talk for you. That's the purpose of that space. It's so that you can have
bro,
that moment.
if you're going to
I
eat,
feel
bro,
like
you gotta eat.
that's missing.
Yeah. Okay. So we're all right. So before we get into this topic, we are going to address something now that popped up on our Instagram page today. This
Oh
will
yeah,
obviously be a week from now. So last week, we just want to just talk about it because we love the fact that people were commenting, that people were kind of putting, I guess, their worldview there, and it was dope. But so basically, we're just gonna walk you through this. So what happened was, we posted a video today, and the video was me talking about how one of the best
dependency.
way, yeah, one of the best ways of showing our faith to God is being fully dependent on Him, which we all agree with, right? Some of the
Amen.
true ways of showing your faith is dependence, right? And so basically, what ended up happening is that the one guy, and I'll probably put this clip and tag him because I'm just that kind of guy.
You gonna tag him?
Yeah, I don't
All
care.
right.
So basically he commented basically saying like, dependence. What do you say? Can I read? Can someone pull up the actual comment
I'll
and
pull it up. But he basically
Dependence is weakness.
yeah,
Watch
he
this.
said
basically
dependence is weakness, and that is why the church is declining,
fading.
fading. And basically, I mean, we obviously responded back and said, you depend on water, you depend on food, blah, blah. And so after we said that, he came back with another comeback of like talking about stats. And I was like, bro, now you're shifting your point. Stats weren't the reason why you said that. You said dependency is the reason. And then he ended up shifting to calling us, Joel Osteen type people and all this stuff. All it's basically the simple, the simple minded way of
Christian.
having a debate
Yeah.
with the Christian, and you don't know any information. And after this, I'm gonna let Jonathan and Irie say their piece because I know they also have something to say. This is what and this is why I say having a small perspective is very dangerous, because when you come into something and you don't know all of the information, and you just spew out stuff without actually reading about it, nor doing research or actually thinking about what you're saying, you sound like an idiot. And like, I'm not saying that in like a rude way. You don't sound knowledgeable when you come into, certain spaces, and you just spew out just random information that doesn't impact the the whole entire, conversation. Because like this, it's like, bro, you're comparing us to celebrity pastors when that is like the smallest percentage of Christianity. The percentage of celebrity
Yeah.
pastors is super small. Not to mention, I don't believe every celebrity pastor is bad.
Nah.
I'm just being real with you. Honestly, I mean, there are very few that I really think are like off of the deep end. I think there's goodness in everyone that says they are a believer in Jesus. You know what I mean? Just because, we have some people in error and some people that, are very prideful, or they've gone a different route, that doesn't mean that they're not good people. You know what I mean? And we, and on this podcast, yes, we are going to judge. Yes, we are going to hold people accountable. Yes, we are going to be very honest about some things, like we are going to be doing in this episode. But at the same time, I am not uh I am not going to sit here and have someone literally come on our comment section and, kind of belittle us by comparing us to a money hungry preacher, because we're not that. We make nothing from this show yet.
Yeah.
And if we did, we're not a church. So, you know what I mean? We're just a group of guys trying to just, we love talking about Jesus, bro. So yeah, that's really all that I gotta say, man. If you want to come mess with us, you better come correct and withholding information, because I am a debater at heart. Jonathan is an informational nut, and Nairi, it takes a while to get Nairi brought up. So if Nairi comments, then you're most likely wrong. Just be honest, because Nairi is a very patient person.
Yeah,
But
Diary, did you comment on?
nah,
No? Okay. I
Nah,
know I did.
me and Steve were talking. I usually don't feed into.
Engage. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Steve already said something, but usually I don't engage unless
yeah,
I feel it's needed. But Steve already did, so I talked to him like outside of that, and I was laughing.
yeah, bro. It's just like,
Nah,
bro, like
I
there's a
love it,
knowledge.
man.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, guys. I mean, like, we as I said before, we want all the smoke. We want all of it. We love the
Yeah.
fact that you guys are commenting in our comment sections and all that. Just, if you don't want to get made a fool out of yourself, just come correct. That's all I'm saying. So, Jonathan, I know you have a few things to say. Go ahead, brother.
Well, I mean, my thing is, it really wasn't deep. I mean, like he went from talking about the Christian church being weak because it's the we rely on dependency, and because of that it's fading. And then he goes on and talks about statistics, which I don't really understand how that's related to being dependent, but like that's what he just you know that's what he dragged the conversations to. And my thing is, I always try to make things simple. I try not to read everything. I just sort of like get the gist of what he's trying to say. And I mean, basically, dude, like you can't generalize the church. If you feel like churches are stealing people's money, I mean, that's not every church. Some churches are transparent and honest about what they do financially. If you go to a church and you feel that way, I mean, you have the option to not support the church, and that's with anything. It's not just with church.
Yeah, nine.
Jesus is not a statistic. Jesus is not a box. You can't measure him because he is great and he's wide and vast. Jesus is not a box. You can't go to each person. And like Steve said in the comment, he said the best. What is someone going to sit in church and track each and every one Christian's faith base? It's a relationship. It's not a religion. That's what people get the misconception wrong. And
Yeah,
that's how I felt about it. You can't measure by a stat. A stat doesn't define the greatness of what Jesus does and each person's faith and walk. So
Exactly, bro. And like
yeah,
the wild thing to me is like, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's just like, if you're going to tell me dependency is a reason why, just give me the reasons why. and just don't switch up. That's all I'm saying. Like I wasn't mad. I was actually happy because I love talking and debating and having like just meaningful conversations. To be informed by what other people outside of our belief think. But it's just that if you come with such a strong like statement like that, I want to know why you think that. So yeah,
And back it up.
That's what makes me mad is how confident some of these people are about their facts. It's like, dude, where are you getting your information from? Like, do you attend a church? Because if you attend a church, I can sort of, I guess, try to like understand what you're saying. But like most of these people don't even go to church. Like we go to church, so we know the ins and outs of like
yeah,
the things that happens. And you have people
exactly.
outside thinking that they know more. That's what makes me mad. It's like, dude, stop. Like
I
you
love
don't.
it
You
Exactly.
don't.
though. I love it.
Yeah,
I
bro.
told
Yeah.
And it's
I told Steve, I said we reaching an audience that on social media that isn't like tapped in. Like nine times out of ten, people that are gonna come through keep swiping, like they're gonna see something. Nine times out of ten, it's gonna challenge their mindset. It's gonna challenge their outside thinking of what they've been told in the world, and it's a different audience than that come in as a new person into a church. Because usually, most people who are new that come into a church are usually open ears to it and may leave, but won't say anything to anybody. On social media, it's easy to hide behind your phone and type and be able to say whatever you want because you feel like you got the power. Well, that's perfect because now we have our platform to challenge you. And as Steve said, let me educate you. And that's what we're doing. That's what our podcast is.
exactly
So
because
Right.
I've said before, comment sections don't change the world, and I stand by that rule.
Nah. Yeah.
facts,
But
facts.
but but if you challenge our statement, we will respond, and it's not in toxicity, it's not in disrespect. That's just who we are. That's how we defend and spread the gospel. It's through trying to educate you guys on the reasons why we say things. Everything we say is really calculated. We don't really just go up here and say random things. You know what I mean? So yeah, and like another thing that I just want to put is like, just because you've seen Joel Osteen, you've seen these people and all these other, and this guy is probably going through church hurt. You know what I mean? Sadly, and that's a lot of people. A lot of people have had really bad experiences with Christians. Don't hold us to their sins. Sorry, my
I
lights.
do want to also say that
Yeah, don't hold us to things that they've done. You know what I mean?
not
At least
yeah
give us a chance. You know what I mean? Before you just automatically think that we're money hungry, using
yeah
Christian to fool people, because that's not who we are.
I do want to add yes, fellow Christians can judge other Christians. We are allowed to do that.
Yep.
Facts.
Because he said that. He said, you judge your fellow Christians. I didn't respond to that. I forgot to, but yes, you can. That is
Yes.
biblical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, if we're being real, the Bible really tells us that like it's not our job to save the world. It is not. It is not our
Yep.
job. It's our job to go out and spread the name of Jesus to people, but it's really not our job to go out and judge people. God's going to judge the world. We are really supposed to hold other Christians accountable.
Exactly.
That
Yes,
is,
sir.
and read Galatians says it says it right there. We can't save the world, and that was a hard pill that I had to swallow as a pastor. That thinking that I had the power or the excuse my language, I had the balls to go up to someone that's gay or that's saved and say, or that's gay or that's doing drugs and say, you know what, you're wrong and you're stupid.
Yeah.
What? Who am I? The
Right.
stuff that I've done, the stuff that
Yeah.
I deal with to this day. Who am I to say that? It's not my job. It's not my job. That's God's job to judge the
Yeah.
world. Our job is to worry about
We
people
gotta
in
plant
our
the
community.
we gotta plant the seed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
As
sow the seed, and then God waters it, and from there you just hope
Exactly.
for the best.
yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
there was
Because
another.
judging, all right,
There was another. But go ahead. No, I don't mean to
no, you're
interrupt.
good. You're good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There was another comment that was posted about the guy saying, "Oh, you got to trust yourself, instead of relying on a higher power or something like that." I didn't believe it. I didn't really. For me, that was just dumb because that's pride, and we all know that before before what's the saying? It's
Pride comes before the fall.
before the
Yeah.
fall is pride, or pride comes before the fall. So like that's just kind of like even if you're not a Christian, that's just not a good way to sort of interpret and go about your life. You can never rely on yourself for anything. And there's a reason why you have an alarm set, or you rely on like your phone. Like you don't, you can't, trust yourself that much. There's just no way.
Yeah, you only can take yourself but so far. Like your pride, your trusting yourself can only take you so far before you have to depend on someone. And for us, in our case, we depend on Jesus as our strength, as our savior. My other point is that we were just talking about before. Um, dang,
We,
I
we
just
was
lost
talking
my
about
thought.
Are you talking about?
that's why I knew I was gonna change the subject. Yeah.
We were talking about how
Um.
like don't hold us to like the bad experience that you've had with other
Oh,
believers
yeah.
and not
So I
and
was,
judging.
yeah, I was saying that like the whole point of being a Christian and Christianity is for us to show people Jesus and get out the way as fast as possible. Like we aren't sitting here super duper like anything different than anything. We just have a savior and we're pointing people to Jesus. And that's it. And that's what
Yeah.
Christianity is. Like and getting out the way. Like but
Yeah. My thing is, why wouldn't you want a savior? Everyone's sin. Like we all have fallen short in some capacity or some type of way, and this is no secret. People say it all the time that us as human beings, we're evil. So like if
mhm.
you recognize that, wouldn't that only further encourage the idea of a savior and
Yeah,
repenting and giving your life to that
yeah,
person, because we're evil and toxic and we need to be redeemed and clean from our impureness? Like that's like why wouldn't you want that,
yeah.
like that
So
comment
look,
about the oh, trust
yeah,
yourself. It's like you can't trust yourself. Like you did wrong. Like don't even try to act perfect, because no one is perfect.
yeah. Because well, if this guy is a Christian, you're wrong. If you're a Christian, you that whole idea of believing yourself is dead. If you're not a Christian, I understand why you said that, and you do you, boo boo. You do you. Like there's like if that's what you believe and you don't know Jesus, have fun and 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 video chat DM me on the Essential Podcast Instagram in about 10 years, and we'll see how far that's got you.
Not even.
That's all I'm
Not
saying.
even.
Like I'm serious. Like just do that and call me back in 10 years, and we'll see where that's got you personally. Not yeah. That's all I'm saying. Because guys, at the end of the day, like it's not that I'm not going to waste energy, but like if you aren't, I view when you are a believer in Jesus, you have the highest level of thinking. You're at the highest level ever. When you're not a believer in Jesus, you don't have the highest level of thinking. So you think from a small perspective. That is small perspective thinking. And that's the only way that like I put it. Because I have friends that are Islamic, I have friends that are Muslim, and I've talked to them and I understand why they do what they do. Do I agree with it? No, but I understand it. And I respect it because I respected them. And that is my issue. That is my main issue. I really feel like as Christians, we don't get a lot of respect for what we believe in. So even if you, because with a lot of my friends that are, Muslim or gay or freaking, I don't know, any type of religion, I respect them and disagree.
Hey, so what I was gonna touch on was when you said um like you have a higher thinking. I like not even like it's it's simplicity. Like that's what the Bible is all about, and it's basic. um like the Bible is all about being simple and simple mindedness. When you read like what's this one promise where it says honor your mother and father, right? Like that's one of the promises that the or one of the commands God has. Like that's simple.
But do you
And I
not think
feel
that the highest form is simple? Because that's
right.
my opinion.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I
I
mean,
agree, but that's the
yeah.
highest form. People, and this is the thing. People love to be different. People want to be different so bad and come with opinions. That's not how the world works. Like some
No,
people
no,
just
it
want to be
doesn't.
different. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, like just be yourself, homie. Like, and maybe he is being himself. I don't know, but hey,
But yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, yeah, no, I totally agree. Like being simple is the highest form of thinking. I just that's just not how people think, and
sin.
but in reality, dude, it's all yeah, I mean, it's all about that's being simple and just like going back to principles because like things are so complicated now. Like there's more than one gender, you know, for instance, just to throw that as an example. And it's like, dude, like like really like it's like is there really more than one gender? It's just so weird.
What
Um
you mean more than two?
I mean, yeah, more than two genders. Sorry, I said one. But like you get what I'm saying. Like it's
Yeah.
just like come on, like it's not things don't have to be so complicated, and I feel like that's what we do as human beings. We just overcomplicate things.
Yep. Yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, look, guys, we're here.
This whole lagging thing threw my mind off. But go ahead.
No, yeah, man. I mean, obviously, we're probably not going to get to what we're going to talk about, but like this episode is, I'm going to rename this episode right now. It's called "Addressing Criticism." That's what we're going to talk about today because
Okay.
we're already balls deep, so we might as well just keep going. So yeah, man. I just I'm happy that the certain people commented, and I pray that they really listen to what we said, because I think we gave really good like really good rebuttals to what was said because I really believe that
Yeah.
one of the biggest defaults to people not knowing is, or one of the biggest defaults is ignorance. When you were ignorant, and like whenever I read something, I'm not reading it to think, hey, I'm reading this because I want to crap on every person. Hey, I'm reading this because every time I get in an argument, I can just throw this statistic and make them angry. No, I read because I want to be informed. They're like, I remember, right. I was in youth group, and basically my goal was to be better than everyone in youth group. So what I would do is I would memorize as many scriptures as I could and then throw them on people who would say dumb stuff in youth group. And my youth pastor at the time, Minister Mosley, good dude, pulled me to the side and said, "Yo, if you are memorizing these verses to just throw shots at people and elevate yourselves more than them, then you memorizing these scriptures are useless. Just think about why you read these stats. Just think about why you do these things. If it's really to tear us down and to make us feel away, then you're doing it for the wrong reason, you know? So yeah, man, it's just there's just a lot
I don't
of
even think I
yeah,
yeah.
there's just a lot of stuff like just
It's
I've been walking with Jesus for about 20 like 20 something years seriously. And it's like I've run into so many people who they hear I'm a pastor or whatever, and then they just crap on me. It's like, bro, like I never do that to my Islamic bros, you know what I mean? Or to my or to some of my Indian friends. I would never do that, And it's like,
no.
why is it with Christianity sometimes we get so much crap? But I also understand on the other side of the spectrum what people that are Christians are also like. You know what I mean? But you know, if you don't know me, you should at least give me a chance. That's all I'm saying.
I'll
Yeah,
give
you
you a
can't.
chance.
Yeah, you can't hold each standard to like what you've seen or what someone has like hurt you with. Like you gotta come like with a transformed heart and really know Jesus and know what he's like done to people's lives, and then you can really come with saying something. But if you're just coming from an outside view looking in, it's just like you can't just really come with that comment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or at least
Yeah.
word it differently. Like
Yeah.
if he was like, this is what I believe. What do you guys think? And then we can have an actual intellectual conversation about the idea that you just said. And
Yeah.
because that I felt like Andrew Tate said that, and I laughed because I was like, "Yo, this is something that Andrew Tate would say." I laughed. I love Andrew Tate. I think he's very interesting. Um, But anyways, but yeah, like I'm just like, bro, like where is this coming? It just it makes you think. It just makes you think. Um, I guess we got time. Let's just scour this thing because I know we did a lot of research, right? So about a week ago, a pastor got robbed. Over $1 million worth of his jewelry was stolen, and I sent you guys videos. He flipped out on a bunch of people. He offered a $50,000 reward to the people who, you know, anyone that could find the people in his jewelry. Um, and I'm pretty sure the pastor's name is Lamar Whitehead.
Yes.
So Lamar Whitehead, I did DM him and I said, hey, we're gonna be talking about you on our show. If you want to come on and talk to us, I would love for him to come on the show. That would be awesome.
Why would you do
But
that?
yeah,
He's
and
gonna cuss us out, yo.
and when I post this video, I'm going to put the screenshot of me sending him the DM just to let you guys know. Like I want, like when I tell you I want all the smoke, we want all the smoke. So yeah, so from just tell me your opinion on the whole entire situation. How do you guys feel from all the research that we've done? Well, what is you guys' outlook?
Where's your heart really set at? If you are a man leading sheep, if you are a man, if you are at the level of a pastor, you know that people are going to look up to you. I know that I did research that he has two businesses. So, like, I mean, not knocking hustle or whatever, but I think the image of a quiet life like is really in effect when you are a pastor because people look up to you, and the ones that don't have it, like you see you with a, a bedazzle on your neck with all types of diamonds, like that's who you're looking up to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Jay.
I think I read a YouTube comment where it said you can have the power of the spirit, but you can't fake the fruit of the spirits, um, and that's something that the pastor lacked is the seven fruits, love, patience, joy, peace. I mean, that guy was aggressive to that one lady that video, dude. I wasn't even 5 minutes in, and it was like heated, dude. He's calling her Biggie Big and all this stuff. I'm like, bro, I don't. I like this is not an image of a pastor. You shouldn't be talking like this. Like you can be angry, but you can't sin. You can't insult people. So that's I don't know, man. I don't think Jesus would do something or say something like that.
Muted.
Sorry.
Wait,
Um,
am I muted?
no, I was.
No, Steve
Oh,
was.
So, I think that
oh,
not. I think it is sad that he got robbed mid-service, and I hope that I was reading a lot of articles. A lot of people think that he did it on purpose. I pray that it's not. But if that was real, it's sad, man. It's sad that people really went in a church and robbed them. Sad. With
yeah.
that being said,
But
when
do you?
you are posting, hold on, Jonathan. I'm not done talking. Hold on, give me a second, brother. Give me a
Sorry.
second. You're good. With that being said, when you post on Instagram yourself riding in a Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
when you pull up in a Urus, when you're wearing Cuban links, bust down rollies, you're literally wearing Fenty'd out Gucci shoes, Prada shoes, Gucci
Yeah.
suit. You have a Louis Vuitton suit. You know how much that actually costs, bro? You know how much a Louis Vuitton suit costs? When your
No
outfit
idea.
is $30,000, when your car alone is what people won't even live to make. And this is all I'm saying. When you flaunt your life like that, you got to deal with what comes with it.
Yeah.
Like personally,
X.
this is how I feel, and this is how, and as a pastor, this is how I move. And I do believe God has called me to lead a church one day, and if that does happen, this is how I'm going to kind of set up finances and the things that I buy. if the people in his congregation know that he spends that, and if he's transparent with them, and if he owns it, which he does, he owns that he is like that. He's very flamboyant and very spendy. If his congregation is fine with that, and the people that hold him accountable are fine with that, then by all means spend what you spend. If you believe that you are buying things with the right heart and that it's not a idol to you, spend and you are financially secure, spend by all means. But there's stuff that comes with that. And I think that the robbery, that's what comes with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, and and it also is kind of weird when you have all this real estate and you have all this stuff, but then we look at your church and it looks like a pile of trash. But
I
that's
was
just
gonna say, yo, I
my
was thinking
opinion.
the same thing, dude.
Not
It's
to
like
mention,
little Jordan.
if you guys don't know how church finances run, since I'm a pastor, I see how this works. Do you guys understand that a lot of the money that all the money that comes through is tax free because you're a nonprofit? So I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of it is, and I'm not. This is just I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he does this, but wouldn't be shocked if all of his businesses run through the church, so he gets all of his money tax free and doesn't pay taxes on anything. Just saying. I don't know, but it's just stuff you got to think about. Like there was another article that came out that that he apparently took $90,000 from a member. Something to think about. This you gotta really think about all of the things that line up. But yeah, when you want to roll around like you're rich, I mean, or like that, things happen. But think about this, my guys: Elon Musk, Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs when he lived. Have you ever seen a bust down rollie on any of these men?
No.
Do they wear the craziest designer on a daily?
No.
Mark Zuckerberg.
No.
Do you know that Steve Jobs wore the same turtleneck jeans and Nike shoes every day? Elon wears just rugged. He be chilling. Zuckerberg wears
Elon,
the same outfit every day. Bezos is husky. He probably spent all his bread on steroids. He looks crazy. But Bezos also isn't really that flashy. The richest men in the world are the least flashiest. That says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think actors own the dresses and the suits that they wear. I think they just rent them out during like the red carpets, but they don't actually own those outfits.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that because brands want to sponsor them, so they give
Yeah.
them the clothes to wear. But yeah, it's just it's just a lot to put into perspective, and like I'm not trying to sound all like earthy, but what you reap is what you sow. What you're
Yeah.
like the things that you're going to present. Don't be shocked when it comes back to you tenfold. You know what I mean? And then you want to go on Instagram and cry about it. This ain't a perfect world, man.
Well, he
You
was
know?
mad because apparently those people were laughing at him, which I mean, I guess, I
Yeah.
mean, if
I'm
you're
not talking about him
upset,
being angry. I'm just talking about in general. Like he's on Instagram, like tripping out. It's like, bro, like
oh,
when you do this stuff, this is what comes with it. I mean, it's just the reality.
yeah.
Sorry, I thought someone was to say something. But yeah, man, it's just like I just don't I personally like I'm not a big fan of it, but because it's just not, it's just kind of weird to me. And as a pastor, a lot of people forget this one verse and try to excuse everything, which the Bible calls for us as pastors and leaders to live above reproach. That is a really big verse. So live above reproach for me is that I don't sit alone in my office with another woman that's not my wife. That's living above reproach. Living above reproach for me is saying, hey, I'm not going to go to the club, or I'm not going to go to a strip club and just be chilling or try to minister to people. Like, you know what I mean? That's living above reproach. And when you're in I'm not sure where his church is, but I'm pretty sure it's not the
it's in
best area.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, when you're in Brooklyn, do you really want to be driving around in a Urus like with a Louis Vuitton? It's just things. It's just common
Diamonds
sense.
on your neck. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's just common sense. Like, don't.
Yeah.
And
I
isn't
think
it? Also, sorry.
I was saying if I wasn't even told from you, like when you send a video, like if I was not to be told that he was a pastor, I wouldn't know. Like honestly, I would off first, I would think he's into something else. Like, but I don't know. Like that just kind of shocked me. Why do you have $1 million worth of jewelry anyways? What is the point? Like, I think as a pastor, you're called to lead people, like, and people are looking up to you. Um, if I'm someone that comes from a place of poverty and I see the person that's supposed to be feeding me advice on the best thing in my life, why do you have $1 million and all this money? Like, and I'm sitting here struggling with my life. This is where I believe like people get the wrong views on Christianity because of stuff like this. I mean, like, and people see it in the wrong perspective, but you can't hold us to what
Yeah.
he's doing. And that's what we were saying earlier. Like,
Yeah.
our standard isn't based on what he has done. You know what I mean? Everyone's walk's different. Everyone's different. Every pastor is
Yeah.
different. You know.
Yeah, it's
Do you
just
guys
in
have
like.
like
Sorry.
do you guys have like any theories as to why people support these kind of pastors? Because if I saw that, I wouldn't support that, you know? And I feel like people who support it are kind of in a fault too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors. I think a lot of people are just naive, and a lot of people, there are a lot of people that need leading, so they'll gravitate to anything that has that kind of, that anyone that is very charismatic or has certain type of personalities. Like there are a lot of pastors who resemble motivational speakers, which I'm not against all the way, but a lot of people will gravitate towards any type of power or any type of charisma. But you know, um, it's just, man, live above reproach, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we kind of got into a debate about this in our little Gym Bros group chat last week, and as and let me just say this: we're not saying pastors are supposed to be broke. We're not saying that, because if this podcast blows up tomorrow, I'm gifting Nairi and Jonathan Teslas, and we're going to drive around matching Teslas everywhere.
Let's
You know
do
what I'm
it.
saying?
Let's do it.
Yeah, right. But with that being said, you know, I got to take what comes with that. You know what I mean? I got to take what comes with it. That where people are going to question, is that my church? I'm going to say, no, this is my regular working, or the perception of that. You know what I mean? But you know, you got to take, as I said, you got to deal with it. And another thing that I don't like is when pastors live a lavish life and they hide it. No, no, no. If you live a lavish life, you better own that and deal with what comes with that. So at least the man has courage to own it. But that's what I'll say. At least he has the courage to own that he does that.
Yeah.
So
To answer your question, Jonathan, I think the reason why people gravitate to that is because it can also look like a status of power. SD said you gravitate. Most people usually gravitate to something. And he may be charismatic. I don't know him too much personally, but because of the things that he has, sometimes you could say this comes from God. This is all from God. But when you say that, like, and you flash that kind of gives a perception to people who don't have it, like, oh well, then this is my way. This is how I can get it. And
Mm.
I don't see that in the right light. I don't think that it should be shown that way. If you do own it, like he said, you own it, like that's yours. But people are lost, and the last thing they want to see is like the riches of the world surrounded on your body. That is
yeah,
the last thing they want to see. They want to see someone that is in their position, in their shoes, that can kind of, not be in the same boat as them, but feed them the truth.
exactly.
And I don't think being fed the truth with someone, you're not going to differentiate him from the world to a pastor. So
Yeah, and also just to cover our tracks, we're not talking about charismatics like Christians. We're talking about like the actual personality of charisma.
mhm.
And yeah, because like as I said, I'm not against wearing nice things. I'm not, because I wear nice things when I preach. I'm pretty plain Jane when I'm on stage. That's a personal rule for myself. But I'm not against wearing nice things. I have nice things. I have lots of Yeezys. I love Kanye shoes. Everyone knows this. I cape for Kanye 24/7. God will restore him. I believe that. But with that being said, you know, for me personally, there's a certain line that I draw. You know what I mean? No matter how rich I get, and it's just me. It's just my personal preference. You know what I mean? So, as I said, do I think it's wrong? I don't know. I don't know the pastor's heart. Like I think about somebody like Mike Todd, right? Like I know Mike Todd wore a pair of Triple S Balenciaga shoes. Um, am I against him wearing that? Not really. Don't care. You know what I mean? And I think, and from hearing him, he has a really good heart. He's like a really good guy. But with that being said, he has to deal with the perception of that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the take and give for a lot of pastors.
Yeah.
When you wear these things, you just have you can't complain that people doubt you because of what you wear. That's what comes with the territory. That's probably why Jesus just wore robes 24/7.
And the
Just to
perception
avoid,
that the perception we see of this guy is social media, cars, and ice on his neck and ice on his wrist. That's going to be our perspective of what we see, and from what is told through the news, it kind of is showing. So
Yeah, and there are pastors that are richer than him that don't do that. Craig
yeah,
Groeschel, the Bible app man, dude, he has to be loaded.
yeah.
And what does he wear? Denim
sure.
jacket, shirt, jeans. He doesn't dress crazy. Craig Groeschel lives a pretty quiet life, if we're being honest. Mans has devoted the rest of his life to being being a leadership guru because he's a great leader. There are people that are richer than him that don't act like that. And when I see that, that's what makes me pull out into question. So yeah, that's just, when we are buying things, and I'm not saying when you buy something, God, is this my heart? Buy stuff you like. I'm not saying that. But if you do, and that's in anything you do, right?
I think it's just like a fashion thing too. Like you got to learn how to balance your clothing. You can't just wear all expensive stuff. Like wear clothes and then maybe have like a watch that was given to you from your great grandfather. That's high value. At least it has meaning.
Yeah, as I said,
all right.
I personally don't not that I don't agree, but like I said, I'm not against it. Just you just can't complain about it. That people people think you like if I'm this guy, I can't be mad that people think that I faked it. I can't be mad that people think that I'm a fake because I dress like this and I put this persona that I'm rich when my church looks like a box of scraps. Like the church is ugly. They literally had thumbtacks on stuff. Like I don't care if you are worth all this money. You can't do that. Like that's the part. So yeah, man, own it and be honest with yourself, bro. And yo, Pastor Lamar, what his name is, Lamar Whitehead. Yeah, Lamar, Mr. Whitehead. Sorry,
he was gonna bring him here, bro. He was gonna cuss all of us.
Yeah,
he was gonna get on all of us.
Bro, Lamar Whitehead, he can't go toe to toe with me. I'll tell you that straight up. He, yo, we will have you live, Mr. Whitehead, Pastor. I'm sorry, Bishop Whitehead. My bad. But not. I'm just kidding. But Pastor Lamar, man, we are praying for you here as a group, and we just pray that that you figure it out, man. Because I even watched this dude's live stream, bro. Mans is literally doing a prayer on his Instagram live, and you can see through his glasses reflection him texting.
That's not cool.
You see, and as I said, the lack of authenticity and the fluff. Gen Z doesn't need fluff anymore. We don't need the amens and the hallelujahs and all that. We need realness, bro.
It's funny because again, you know that Bible verse that says, though you have the power to speak in tongues and to heal the sick, but you don't have love, you're nothing. If you don't charity, you're nothing. That's the element of Christianity I think that's missing a lot. It's like people can prophesy, people can do miracles, but they lack the the fruit of the spirits, the basics.
Yeah, and
And
that's where it comes down to. You
yeah,
know, if you can sing on a stage, but you're a total uh weirdo, not weirdo, but you're what's a good word? But you are a total mean person outside of it. Where you're, so I was about to say where I'm not supposed to say, but you're
yeah,
totally rude and just not cool. Then like, bro, like you're just a moment guy. We don't want to be moment guys, man. We want to we want to be wherever we go. People say, yo, what? There's something different about that guy, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
yeah, guys. But yeah, so we're going to wrap it up here. Um, let's just end with some closing thoughts. Nye, what are your closing thoughts on the whole situation, and just what do you want to say to people about?
Um, Basically, the whole situation. I want to say that not every Christian, not every pastor is an example of his situation. Like, and what we're doing in this podcast is, as a Christian, and he claims to be a Christian as a bishop or a pastor, we are with coming with our perspective and what we are knowing from the truth, and using that because we're able to judge another Christian, and say our opinion, um, and from what we seen and what we researched, like we are seeing the fruit of his labor. We are seeing what is coming because of the flash or whatnot, and the consequences of that, and of his heart. We it comes to light, and all we wish is for the best. Like, nothing, this is not to like sit here, we're not hating him, but we just want to, as a Christian, we want to be at the highest standard and what we're called to do and live in that, like, not be called and then just forget about it and just live with the flash. So
Yeah,
but
Johnny,
yeah.
good stuff, Nari.
Yeah, I mean, and Ivy pretty much hit the nail. It's all love. Like we don't judge and say these things because we want to like put somebody in the spot. It's just to correcting is love, and that's what we're just doing. We're just calling this guy out and correcting his actions out of love.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. We are called to question our leaders, because at the end of the day, he's leading people, and you know, a lot of us, including us three, because we're all leading people in a certain capacity, we're gonna have to go to heaven and answer for that. You know what I'm saying? God's gonna add, we're gonna have to answer for a lot of that. And yeah, man. I mean, we just pray for the best for this guy, and we pray that a lesson that you all can learn is just how are how important are the things that you own. If God told you to sell everything, would you do it? If is it an idol in your life? You know, I personally, a lot of people know I follow John Mark Comer's teaching a lot, and I went through a practice of simplicity, which is just throwing away a lot of my stuff. I threw away a lot of clothes, flashy clothes that I've had, and I'm very neutral now with a lot of the clothes I wear and very chill. And that to me, because I had a lot of stuff that I owned, it was to me it was an idol, and I really had to was like, yo, like, am I wearing this to try to put a perception that I'm rich or that I got this or that, or is it because I like it, And for some of the stuff I own, because I wanted to do a perception, so I gave it away or threw it out. So it's something to really think about. And when you live certain lifestyles, you will get treated like you do. And that can be either good or bad. So, but yeah, guys, we thank you guys so much for this episode. I, I just want to say we've been getting a lot of good feedback, and I really appreciate everyone just so supporting this show. We
Yeah.
really put a lot of our heart and soul into this, and our reels are popping, and TikTok's a little slow, but it will get there. But like, this show's gonna go on till we die, and we pray that someone else can take it after. So
Dude, we're young. We're not gonna die anytime soon,
that's what I'm
man.
saying. We're gonna
Like,
do this for like 90, bro. So
yeah.
yeah, guys. But yeah, we thank you so much, and just please like, subscribe, and keep up with us, as because we might hit a point where we're gonna be 2 episodes a week, maybe. What I mean, it's gonna be we're gonna get to those points. So look, everybody have a wonderful week, and do me a favor.
Yeah.
As we're talking about this, um, everybody do me a favor and read hold on, let me pull up the verse because I was reading it yesterday and it kind of stung a little bit in my soul. One of my mentors texted me yesterday and told me to read Ezekiel 34 or Ezekiel 50. Wait, Ezekiel 34 54. Yeah, he told me to read Ezekiel 30 chapter 34 and it completely wrecked me. Read that. It's about just shepherds just kind of playing with their sheep, abandoning their sheep or taking advantage of them. Really good passage to read when we're talking about a topic like this right now.
Is that the one where it talk just real quick? Is that the one where it talks about the worthless sheep?
Yeah,
Where his eye is
I think
his
so.
right eye is blinded and his arm is withered. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, everybody
Yeah,
just read
that's a good one.
read Ezekiel 34, and it will give you a really nice perspective into why we feel these type of ways about stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your sheep does get hurt in the end.
Yeah.
Selfish intent. When you have selfish intent, people will always be a casualty, and God will, and you'll have to answer to God about that. So
Yeah.
have a wonderful day. Peace out. God bless. Bye
Peace out.
bye.
Peace.
Yo,